What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my new video. Let's start with number 5. Equal pay, equal pay, equal pay, equal rights, equal rights, equal rights. So you hear those chants from Hillary, from the media. You hear those in her speeches, her sound bites, etc., etc. Basically, what it gets down to is her stance on equal pay, mostly in this case, between women and men, obviously. Which I agree with. Men and women should be paid equally. They're both equal people, equal amounts of work, equal effort. So, 2 years ago, on April 8th, 2014, she tweeted, 20 years ago, women made 72 cents on the dollar to men. Today it's still just 77 cents. More work to do. Hashtag equal pay, hashtag no ceilings. However, during her time in the Senate, as a senator obviously, she paid her female staff 72 cents for each dollar she paid to men, which she just complained about 2 years ago in a tweet. How 20 years ago that happened. Well, Hillary, apparently it happened about 8 years ago as well too. And you're the one complaining about it, and you're the one that also did it. So, the median salary for her women's staff was $15,708 less than the median for men between 2002 and 2008. And that's a 28% gender wage gap between her male and female staff. And she complains about, people not doing that now when she was actually guilty of that only a handful of years ago. Number 4, she has an awesome record at cyber safety. So, Hillary used her personal email account while serving as the Secretary of State with a private server located in a house in New York. I'm sure everyone has heard this by now. You're going to complain, "Oh, Jeff, everyone knows about this. It's not that big of a deal anymore. She lost her personal emails, nothing of importance." Okay. But she and her staff decided which emails to turn over to the State Department and which to withhold. I'm not sure how they could classify that. I think the government, the State Department, would have a say over that. But then they decided to destroy the ones they had designated as personal. The other parties involved, State Department, FBI, have no idea what that means and no idea what those were. Yeah, I'm sure some of them could be personal. Also, since that happened, possibly losing thousands of emails, thousands of confidential emails, Loretta Lynch said that the Justice Department would not pursue any criminal charges. Coincidentally, this happened to happen during the election season as well. And recently, actually, probably within the last few days, the FBI allowed some of Hillary's aides to destroy their laptops. Wouldn't that be considered destruction of evidence, since these laptops could have contained sensitive information? I mean, come on, people, that's common sense. And they apparently, based off what I read, willingly gave them up. Who just willingly gives up their laptops? I wouldn't. Mine's expensive, a couple $100. I mean, for me, yeah, these people might make a lot more money than I do, or, they might have gotten them for free from Hillary. Who knows? But, I couldn't just give up my computer. Here, go trash it, blow it up, burn it. That's fine. Don't bother me. I don't have any other personal files on there of any importance, apparently. Just, possible evidence to put Hillary in jail, basically. Number 3, Hillary's honest tax returns. So basically, Hillary was caught being a little hypocritical when she saw Donald Trump's tax returns. Oh, by the way, which the New York Times illegally obtained and illegally published in their newspaper. But that's a different story. So, Hillary used a $700,000 loss to avoid paying some taxes in 2015. And obviously, that's nowhere near the amount that Trump lost 21 years ago, by the way. But in a ratio of type thinking, it's pretty similar. So she lost 700 grand, he lost almost $1 billion, which is a big difference. But she still avoided paying some of her taxes as well last year. So she's, you know, spouting this whole thing about how, oh, Donald Trump didn't pay his taxes, but the working families who did, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, he used the same rule like you and many other wealthy people do, took advantage of this legal law to use large losses to avoid paying some taxes, so you don't have, you know, completely broke or go bankrupt. And then, just on a side note, she always talks about, oh, the one percenters. Does she realize she is a one percenter? She's worth several $100 million. Her and her family, the Clinton family, are worth several $100 million. Am I? No. Are you? Most likely not. So that would be a one percenter. Yet she acts like they're different from her, and I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's how she says it. Number 2. She is great at safeguarding American lives. One word for you. Benghazi. And finally, number 1. The generous and honest Clinton Foundation. Now, I'm only going to give you one example today of their generosity and their honesty, but there are many, many more, which I actually might make a later video on. But for now, let me take you back to 2001. The Clintons promised their foundation would rebuild 100 villages in the aftermath of the huge earthquake in India that killed 20,000 people and injured 166,000 people. However, a few years later, the annual reports were reviewed and showed that only 7 villages were partially rebuilt, and only $2.7 million of the $53 million raised actually went to the earthquake victims. That is ridiculous. The other $50 million went to other projects such as AIDS research, social change research, sustainable developments, and digital equalizers. I mean, some of those projects might be for good causes, but when you promise to send this money to the earthquake victims to help rebuild their 100 villages, but only half build 7 of them, that's a little ridiculous. Oh, and by the way, the Clintons made more than $13 million in profits off of their generous donations and charity work with this, by the way. Well, that pretty much covers it for this video. I'm sure I will have many more similar videos like this in the future. If you enjoyed watching this video and would like more like this, please like, share, and subscribe below. I would really appreciate it. I thank you all for watching this, and have a great day.